Hi everyone, Wolf's Galaxy here, and today I'm going to be talking about DriveClub, my opinions on it, basically like a little review, but mainly my opinions on it. So to start off with, I'd just like to say with this little bit of gameplay here that this game is a cross between a racing simulator and a racing arcade game. More on the side of a racing arcade game because of the style of driving, but it's got certain parts of a simulator racer element to it, like racing on tracks and stuff like that, but it's got a certain arcade feel to it as well, so it's a cross between both. Maybe more of a focus on an arcade game, so yeah. And you don't really get thrown into a story. There's not much customization. There's a brief character customization where you can edit what your character looks like, their helmet, what the patterns are on the helmet. So it's just basically you can race online or you can race in the single player, and just a brief. Now going on to the events and everything, there is a lot of content if you're a single pass holder, like literally loads to do. There is so much content, so much driving, along with the fact that going on with the content that there is a lot of cars. Everything from basically like a VW Golf up to like the Hennessy Venom GT and everything in between, BMWs, RUF, KTMs, Lamborghinis, everything. And bear in mind these aren't the stock cars, this is basically a 2016 update review type thing, so these aren't all the stock cars. A lot of these are DLC, but when you get the season pass, which isn't a lot of money, you get a lot of cars, so that's always a good thing. That's part of the reasons I love this game so much. Next thing I'd like to move on to is the graphics. Now when this game first came out, the graphics were never that good. As you can see here in the rain, the graphics are absolutely superb. And one thing about the graphics is they're not just visual as well. They're basically, you can see the road is slippery there, and you might think that that's just a visual effect. It's actually not. It actually does make the road wet and makes it hard to control. And just for going from the rainy Norway and stuff like that into sunny India, you can obviously in the sun gameplay you can really see the detail in the car, and you know the graphics in the weather and everything are fantastic. I know in one of the DLC packs they brought out called Elements, it's all about the weather and everything else like that, and the weather in this game is superb. It was never as good as this when the game first came out, but they've made it a lot better. And moving straight on now into Japan, and you can see in the P1 GTR here, you can see that the sun and the rain are out, and you can see obviously in a minute you can see there, you know, it's not just visual, it's obviously on the road, like real rain would be, and you can see the rain marks on the car, which is, there's not many racing games out there at the minute, especially on the PlayStation 4 that can really compete with this. I mean, the only thing I can think of is on the Xbox One, and that's Forza, and now I don't think it has this much detail. Moving on to the multiplayer now, and in the multiplayer there is a ton to do. There's always people online. There's different game modes you can play, like red team and blue team, and that's what I'm playing on now. There's just so much to do on multiplayer, like I said, different events, and you can use different cars, and you can race with your crew, or you can set challenges. And I mean, when the game came out, the multiplayer was never up to, you know, the standard that it should have been, and they completely fixed it. They turned it around. There's no lag. I hardly have any lag on there, and I have a pretty bad internet connection, so that's a good thing. And the next thing I'm going to be talking about is the clubs. So obviously you can see here, you know, my club's got a level. There's 6 members in my club. Our club is level 45, and that's our custom emblem, our colour, our name. You can customise your emblem, you can invite people, you can make your club private, you can set challenges to challenge other people's clubs, and your club even has a rank in its own world and its separate challenges. It's a really cool thing to set up, and if you can get people to join a club, it's really rewarding, and it unlocks 5 separate cars in the single player game the more you level your crew up, so it is really rewarding in the long run. Now moving on to the bikes, because obviously the bikes is a big thing with DriveClub at the minute, and what I would say about the bikes is they are fun, fast, and just everything in between. They're really good, the bikes are. The only thing I would say about the bikes that's probably not as good is the lack of content there is included in the bikes racing. Obviously the bikes is a standalone DLC. It comes with a lot of bikes, as you can see here. Obviously you've got all the stuff. There's the fastest bike in the world at the minute in this game, the Kawasaki H2, but I think the bikes could come with a lot more content than it does. So all in all, Drive Club is a very good game. Lots of content, lots to do at a very low price. The things I'd like to say is maybe some of the handling on some of the cars could be improved, going around corners and stuff. And also the content with the bikes they could have added a lot more content with the bikes, and possibly a lot more bikes as well. But those are the only bad things. So thanks for watching, guys. Really do go out and buy this game. It's not very expensive, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.